Who gets the excess money? So pretty interesting world out there where you can sell your asset claims. So these guys are professional sharks. These guys are professional vultures. And in the end, it all bit him in the ass. How's it going, guys? Hope this finds you really well. So vultures are everywhere. Some of them wear suits, some of them get paid big bucks. And there's tons of financial vultures essentially handling the Chapter 11 bankruptcy case of the FTX crypto exchange. In the latest court filing today, this is probably the biggest blow to any FTX customer. And it's kind of a big deal because a lot of people were getting excited with the market kind of going up. They're thinking, hey, maybe I can get my crypto back, and now it's worth a lot more than when it collapsed. Well, not exactly. So filed December the 16th, a joint Chapter 11 plan of reorganization, basically the counsel, the law firms representing the debtors, FTX, are filing a motion that is arguably equivalent to a bank robbery. This is huge. This could be a massive lawsuit in its own right. So the big issue is this basically files an amendment for the reorganization of returning funds to customers. And this reorganization claim basically includes the asset value that the customers could potentially get. Basically saying that the value of what the customers will get returned will essentially be what it was worth when the whole thing collapsed. Dated for November of 2022. And the reason why that makes a big difference is, for example, Bitcoin was valued at $17,000 at the time of the collapse. Now valued at $42,000, you can see the big difference. The problem with this amendment is that anyone who had cryptocurrency on the exchange itself is not going to be returned cryptocurrency. They're going to change it into the dollar equivalent. And this is probably the biggest blow to any customer from FTX. So they're going to return a US dollar cash equivalent. That sounds like the customers already got screwed over and they're about to get even more. Here it is highlighted in the filing, valuation of claims. Unless otherwise expressly provided in the digital assets estimation order, the value of a claim in respect to digital asset shall be calculated by converting the value of such digital asset into cash, into dollars, as of the petition dates utilizing the conversion rates set forth in the digital assets conversion table. This table, though, was not provided in the released paperwork. Pretty interesting, and basically a giant slap in the face for anyone who was owed money. So essentially John Ray and the law firms representing FTX Crypto Exchange at the moment, which as we can see here in the filing is Sullivan and Cromwell and Landis, Rath and Cobb, well, it seems like there's a lot of fishy stuff going on here. Wall Street Journal did a nice article on people trying to claw back some of their cryptocurrency, some of their money, where customers who essentially got scammed and robbed, they're starting to realize that the new CEO, John Ray, and those law firms, they're basically going to scam the customers again. So in essence, customers want to get paid in cryptocurrency that they had on the exchange because that gives them maximum value. Because if FTX sells the cryptocurrency now at a profit, pays out a cash value in dollars to what it was worth in November of 2022, what happens to the excess money? Who gets the excess money? It's all very strange. Like, why? Wall Street Journal spoke with this fellow, Sunil Kavuri, who apparently lost 7 figures in the collapse, which is a ton of money. So this guy formed a coalition, a group of people, 580 former FTX customers, losing over $500 million combined. Insane amount of money. All of these people, all customers. So essentially they're arguing that they're going to be cut out from massive gains, especially given the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF that could potentially be approved. All of these people would absolutely get double swindled, double screwed. Now, Mr. Sunil Kavuri, who's trying to petition the courts to let him keep his crypto amount, he makes an excellent point when it comes to the FTX terms of service that he signed up for. So he points to a section in the terms of service by FTX Crypto Exchange where it says that all digital assets are held in your account as a customer on the following basis, where it says that title to your digital assets shall at all times remain with you and shall not transfer to FTX Trading. That as the owner of the digital assets in your account, you shall bear all risk in case you lose your digital assets. Saying that FTX Trading shall have no liability when it comes to the fluctuating fiat currency value of your cryptocurrency, i.e. the dollar amount. Subsection B, where it says that none of the digital assets, cryptocurrency in your account are the property of FTX Trading or shall be loaned to FTX Trading. That FTX Trading does not represent or treat digital assets in user accounts as belonging to FTX trading. And that's what customers signed up for. So maybe customers who petition the court, such as this group is doing, maybe they can have a winning case. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is pretty curious. So what do you guys think? Should these people lose their money? I don't think so. Because if they lose their money, the only people who come out winning are sharks and vultures. For example, according to CoinDesk, one of Sam Bankman-Fried's favorite cryptocurrencies, Solana, which FTX supposedly has about 42.2 million of the Solana cryptocurrency, valued at $1.1 billion earlier this year. Now today, that's valued at over $4 billion. That is an absolute insane difference in value. Even if it is all funny money, that is an insane amount of money that customers would miss out on. Doesn't seem really fair. And who would get the surplus money? That's the other question. Now, part of the reason why this amendment seems a little sketchy is because this law firm representing the creditors, representing FTX, they're the same law firm that encouraged Sam Bankman-Fried to essentially give up FTX, hand over the company to bankruptcy proceedings led by them. Now, part of what makes all this so interesting is that Sullivan and Cromwell actually started handling legal matters for FTX.US back in summer of 2021. This happened after FTX hired one of its partners named Ryan Miller, who was mentioned many times in Scam Sam's trial. So this guy was hired as general counsel by FTX.US, who used to be a legal partner at Sullivan and Cromwell. And then he turns around, outsources some of the work from FTX, gives it to the firm itself. So during the collapse, this guy Ryan Miller, one of the few remaining lawyers working at FTX, Daniel Friedberg, all the other ones, Can's son took off for Japan, they all ran away, and he was the one in charge of retaining Sullivan and Cromwell to handle the bankruptcy transfer, signing the paperwork where Sam hands over control of his whole company. Meanwhile, John Ray turns around and hires Sullivan and Cromwell. Conflict of interest? Well, maybe. But it's one of the oldest law firms in New York, so obviously extremely experienced with corporate law, bankruptcy, and all that jazz, right next to Wall Street in Lower Manhattan. So these guys are professional sharks. These guys are professional vultures. New York Times says that when Sam was in New York City, he would often go to the offices of the firm itself and do work for FTX Crypto Exchange while at their office. That's how close they were before the collapse. Anyway, so Sam in the end thought that he was treated very poorly, not just by them, but also by Fenwick. So it's kind of ironic that the crypto whiz kid, the crypto king, kept hiring lawyers who worked for US regulators. He kept hiring former regulators to work as lobbyists for FTX, kept hiring sharks in New York, sharks in California, and in the end, it all bit him in the ass. All lawyers, all sharks and vultures. In the end, he wanted to place a lot of the blame of FTX crash on these law firms full of vultures and sharks. This shows that while he was playing the crypto game, the crypto swindle, he was likely also being played by the very firms that he hired. If they knew that Sam was doing shady business, they obviously protected themselves and put themselves in a position to take over the handling of the company, which is exactly what happened with Sullivan and Cromwell and John Ray. Very interesting. Now representing FTX trading to the point where they're petitioning the courts to be allowed to return the dollar value, not the crypto amount, but the dollar value, what it was worth back in November of 2022 when it was practically worthless. So they want to be allowed to handle all these billions of dollars, now doubled, tripled, quadrupled what it was worth back then. Insane amounts of money. The Solana example going from 1 billion earlier this year to now over $4 billion in December of 2023. A staggering amount of money. So this firm, one of the oldest, most experienced in New York City, next to Wall Street. My theory is that all of this is allowed to happen so that Wall Street can take over FTX Crypto Exchange. Now with Binance basically getting overtaken as well by regulators and Wall Street combined, remember that Gary Gensler said that he was open to his friend taking over FTX Crypto Exchange version 2.0. The former New York Stock Exchange president, Tom Farley, did say that he was open to buying FTX and reopening it, a massive power play by Wall Street. So if the customers are only given the US dollar equivalent, what the crypto was worth in November of 2022, the price difference, that actually could stay and belong to FTX Crypto Exchange. That value difference could probably stay with FTX and maybe be siphoned off by the new owners or by different vultures and law firms and all the sharks in Wall Street, where they do what they do best, which is basically siphon as much as possible. Unfortunately, in this case, it's all customer money, but these people do not give a shit. You just can't trust vultures. There's no other way of putting this. So the excess funds, as example, the Solana cryptocurrency, now valued $3 billion more than it was earlier this year. Imagine how many more billions the customer funds have gone up in value. Even in funny money, this could be traded for real money. So if they are being super sneaky, how could the law firm actually get some of this money? Well, billable hours. They've already billed FTX Trading $100 million since bankruptcy filing. So I think everyone at the law firm is getting a nice Christmas bonus coming up, where New York Times says the firm was playing both sides of the crisis. And of course, all these billable hours are paid with customer money. Wall Street Journal also talks to a co-founder of an investment fund that buys claims. You can actually sell your asset claims, which of course is interesting and very useful. They spoke with a co-founder of 507 Capital. He says that it's better that FTX customers get paid in dollars. That even though it's unfair because the asset has increased in value, that this is what the bankruptcy code actually says should be done. So ultimately, who is right? I don't know. You guys can decide on that one. Claimsmarket.com. It's a place where you can sell your asset claims and someone buys them. They claim to be getting 64 to 69 cents on the dollar, which is not bad. Pretty good, actually. But check out some of their claim sales recently. Some are worth millions, some are worth hundreds and hundreds of thousands. Now, I think this stuff is really interesting because they have asset claims going as far back as 2019. And it's not all cryptocurrency related. It's not all related to crypto companies or exchanges. For example, they have asset claim sales relating to PG&E Corporation, which is Pacific Gas and Electric, the nation's largest utility company. They went bankrupt in 2019 due to crazy wildfires in 2017 and 2018, which were, of course, extremely sad, very tragic. So Claims Market was buying and selling claims even back then worth hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. They even have a Toys R Us claim. That's pretty interesting. Hertz Corporation, all those lawsuits against Hertz for people getting arrested. Also a lot of claims bought and sold from Celsius Network, another crypto company that shut customers out of their money. But anyways, just examples of some of these claims bought and sold, potentially even by investment funds. So pretty interesting world out there where you can sell your asset claims. All right, guys, well, thanks for spending time with me. Drop a comment below. Please don't forget to smash a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.